So I'm going to start a collection of TikToks below on this particular video. And it basically is local business owners reaching out to their community, offering up free food and offering free meals to government workers. I don't think the shutdown will go on very long. I think that these politicians are selfish people, extremely wealthy. You'll never hear or see them try to give you anything. Do you see any of them going online worried or concerned about how you're going to eat, or that shutdown's going to happen, or trying to rally local people like these folks here who are trying to offer up a different solution? Are they rallying them together? Are they running around trying to make sure that business owners know that not to throw anything away at the end of the day, like Little Caesars doesn't? So if you go to Little Caesars, they'll give you all the meals at the end of the day that they have left, that they don't want to throw away, that they've made an abundance of, but they give them away. And also Panera. I know it's a friendly business to these things. In Minnesota, there is a policy where if you are at a grocery store, within a few days of the expiration of the food, you have to, I think it's like maybe in a week or so, you have to give the food away to the local charities like Vineyard and stuff like this. I used to help unload. And my husband and I would just sneak in, unload, be one of the first people in line to get something that we wanted, and we'd only get a few things. And then things that we knew we needed, like we just get like rice and beans and then go home. My point is, TikTok is being used as a tool by local business owners who are deciding to reach out while they're in need as a business to meet other people's need for food. Very basic stuff. People giving tips who are using the Monopoly game at Macdonalds as an opportunity to win free food. I've never done that, but I think they do give a lot of opportunities. I'll put the link below. The TikTok explains it. But are the politicians coming out? Do they care? No, they don't. They don't. And I know that they're fighting their own battle with trying to get the other side to agree to something. But you think they'd be a little bit more openly sympathetic, or they'd rally a little bit harder for the general public, or they'd find these owners of businesses and create an official list, or they'd work with the local grocery stores to try to work a deal so that the grocery stores can make sure the expired stuff goes out the door immediately, maybe even directly to people, or put on trucks and brought to a local church. But, these politicians, they make millions of dollars with the insider trading, with the business deals that they cut under the table. They don't care. And it's these times when they can't guarantee that anything's going to be solved or resolved by the 1st of November, when everybody's like, okay, we're going to eat next week. And whatever the political leaning is on that, society's too dependent upon food stamps or whatever. Inflation has been crazy for the last 5 years. There are people who went back to their grocery cart of what they bought that cost $150 in 2020, now costs over $300 now. It's doubled, almost tripled. So to be somebody of means who's maybe got millions of dollars, lots of money, to look down at people who have suffered a great time of inflation after the tragedy that was the pandemic, and also the die-off afterward. We all know that's happening. And then to have the everyday people who have to work those, 2 or 3 jobs in order to make life happen, or who have disabilities or mental illness and can't work those jobs, or are older, or who are strapped in other ways that nobody else should have to explain, by the way. To see everyday people get on and say, do you know what the local food shelf needs if you have extra this or that around, or if you're able to go buy a box of that, this is what they need. This is what she's doing, actually. But the politicians who have to sit in their seat maybe, once a month, 4 times a year, who knows, not care at all. They're too busy. And they think that you're too dependent upon the government. They're not very dependable as politicians for the everyday person. We need more everyday people. We need more people who actually have to work to sit in those chairs 4 times a year because they're actually working. Because it's like, no, I got 2 jobs. I can't sit in this chair and be a politician every week, every day of the week, because I actually have 2 jobs. That's not what they're doing. They're not doing that. They're running around, I don't know, going on vacation, golfing, who knows what they're doing. But they don't care. This November thing's happening. They don't care if you eat next week. They don't care. The local business owners care. The ones who are suffering too care. So I really do think it's a reflection of something gone wrong. I know the government's messed up anyway. We're not supposed to depend hard on that. I get that. It's really not there to make the difference like a church is supposed to make a difference. And maybe we have leaned a little too hard on the government to act like a church. And instead, and it stopped. I don't know why, I don't know how, but the people sitting in those seats seem to be a little too wealthy for them to really care too much about you. And I'm sorry, I know this is a rant, but to see TikTok start to reflect like this, where it's just almost every other video, people are saying, oh, if you're hungry. This is Linda of Christ is King forever. Something's got to change because these politicians are out of pocket. They really are. They're not rallying for you. And I know they think this is supposed to be political and that's their big battle. But there's other basic things they could do. They're not too busy to go out and figure out how to feed you until things get solved. It's like, are you telling me that they're capable of rallying people together and have enough influence to gather millions of dollars so that they could be your representative, only to not be able to figure out how to temporarily feed where they locally reside? Where, the people that voted them in, the people that said, hey, you'd make a great representative, somebody who doesn't care that you're not eating isn't representing you. They're not. When it was able to serve them, they're highly functional people, so highly functional that they're able to shut down governments and close things down, but didn't have a solution for the end game. You guys do this almost every year. You think by the second or third year that you do this, you go, well, what if things go too far? What if things go too long? Do we have a backup plan for this? Because the people who don't eat isn't us. Did anybody come to these conclusions? If that was you, the head of some basic organization, and you knew the funds would stop and people who were working wouldn't get their money anymore, wouldn't you have a backup plan for that? And that's like a small organization. This is the government. They knew what they were doing and they knew who would say no. They know the stubbornness of the other side. I'm not taking a side, I'm just making it clear. They're just as stubborn as the other one. And I'm telling you, it's a WWF or WWE game. These guys are back there having drinks together. This is all a front. And the people who hurt is us. But we keep nominating people who have to have millions of dollars and have to have bad connections, evil connections, in order to sit in those seats. And we think that somehow the seat will make them clean or they'll get there and change their stripes. This is who we're voting in, is people who need millions of dollars to be what a politician is. And then we get surprised that they act the way they do. Anyway, the TikToks are down below. May God be with you.